There we go. Hi, it's me, Matthew. I'm one of the co-hosts of Book Club for Masochists, a reader's advisory podcast. It's a podcast where we read and discuss all the genres and types of literature, regardless of our actual interest in them. Every month, we read books from a new randomly selected genre. Then on the podcast, we discuss our reading choices, experiences, opinions, appeal factors, and other related topics as friends and library workers. We've covered everything from American Gothic to true crime, gardening to erotic romance. And we also cover formats sometimes. Formats are things like audiobooks, ebooks, short stories, things like that. This month, we're doing visual novels because we added visual novels to our list of potential topics to cover on the podcast. And immediately after we added it, it was the number that came up when we rolled the dice. So that is the way these things work. So I decided, hey, I'm going to be playing visual novels. Why not stream some on Twitch, learn about Twitch, and here I am. If you want to check out our podcast, you can go to bookclub4m.com. You can search for us in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, any places that you find podcasts. Our podcast is available. And the most recent episode is about alternative and alternate history fiction. And our episode about visual novels will be out at the beginning of September, if you want to check that out as well. So I'm here to play Detective Hank and the Golden Sneeze, which is a detective mystery game of some sort. And joining me is Amanda. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Comrade Amanda here as a sidekick today.
Amanda has been a co-host of the podcast before. Do you remember how many episodes you were on?
Oh, shoot. Somewhere around 12 or so, because I was there for about a year, the first year I want to say, and we were only doing monthly at that time.
Well, you've been on a few episodes since then as well, so I feel it's like somewhere like 15 or something. So you were on, so you've been a co-host and host on this, and you decided you wanted to play this weird Golden Sneeze game with me.
Thanks for having me along.
No problem. Have you ever played a visual novel before?
No, and in fact, I'd never even heard of a visual novel until that came up on the feed, my social media feed, when you were advertising. It's completely new to me.
Great. Well, let's get started in this. And that's not
I did
good.
choose, by the way, so it's terrible. I chose from the list. It's terrible. It's my fault.
I'm sure it'll be great. Okay. Apparently, I had it set to the wrong Detective Hank.
Oh,
there we go. Oh, wait, hold on. Done. Save. There we go.
I kind of chose it quickly, but now that I'm looking at the screen, I'm imagining Tom Hanks as a detective.
I don't think it'll be like that, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Also, thank you to Spider Houses for following us. Hopefully, you enjoy the streams. One thing that's really interesting about this one, before we get started, I looked up a little bit, and it's set up so that each time you play, apparently there will be a different culprit, a different whodunit. So it changes each time. So apparently the clues will change, and the whoever did the crime will change as well.
Like a Bandersnatch. Bandersnatch type deal.
Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm gonna see if I was gonna see if I could change the size of this, because this is kind of a strange size for the picture, but I think it'll be fine for what we're doing. Okay, so let's get started with a new game. Do you want to do the bonus prelude, a prelude to tea, or should we just start the main game? Let's start the main game.
Sure, let's do the bonus.
I think the bonus comes after the game.
Oh, so let's start the main game then.
I thought it was a prelude to the game, but I think it's just start the main game. Okay, so start the main game. So, welcome to Detective Hank and the Golden Sneeze. Do you want an explanation on how to play? Yes, I don't know what we're doing here. So it's an interactive whodunit visual novel that features a different culprit on each playthrough. That's what I just said. There are 3 key points. In this game, you'll have to find out who committed the crime, pay close attention, and look for clues when you're talking to people in game. I am notoriously bad at this, Amanda, so I
need a notepad or something here.
You might need to take notes. The game will have a lot of text. If you like reading books, you will like this game, but if you're more of an action gamer, we ask you to be patient. That is why we're covering it on the podcast, because we like reading books. Different culprit in each playthrough. Every time a new game is started, one of several storylines is chosen. Every storyline has a different culprit for the crime committed. Every storyline will have different clues that lead you to the criminal. But watch out. Clues in one storyline may be red herrings in another. Keep a pen and paper ready. Oh, yep, you're ahead of the ball, Amanda.
Working on it.
Ready to take notes of the clues in your current storyline. The game will help you out a bit on staying on track, but a true detective has his or her own method of deduction. Good luck. Cute. Okay, choose a storyline. They each have a different culprit. 1, 2, 3, or 4, or random. I think we're going random.
Random, yeah.
We have chosen storyline 4. Oh, they're telling us. Okay. Game saved. The night is young and the town is asleep, save for a few exceptions. Very few exceptions. Whoa. A wall of the museum is blown to dust and a figure waltzes inside the building. Before anyone can react, the figure steals an object and disappears back out through the hole. Guards rush in, but it's too late. The damage has been done. And just like that, the night continues as if nothing had happened except for that one event. Chapter 1. Now you sneeze me, now you don't. I'm actually going to go out of this very briefly and turn down the SFX because I did not realize how loud they would be. Okay. It's been morning for a while by the time I get out of bed. Same as every other morning, I'm a man with a mission. Coffee. My wife breathes. Oh my gosh, my wife is so steampunk. Oh, holy shit. That is a steampunk outfit.
I love it.
I'll read her dialogue if you want to read Hank's dialogue.
Oh, sure.
So here you are. How is my Hank doing?
Coffee.
Oh, you poor thing. Mary hurries to the dining table and rushes a cup of lukewarm coffee back to me. This coffee is probably 5 hours old. I should have gotten it myself, and I should have gotten up at a decent hour. But there's something about this morning ritual of mine, just that I never wanted to change. If it's been there for 5 hours, is it still even morning? Is this actually like 2 p.m.? Our happy morning is suddenly rudely disturbed by the ultimate sound of doom. The ring of impending work. It's a telephone.
Hello?
Captain Stevens. Hank, the museum has been robbed. I want you to go and investigate. Understood, Captain. I'll be
Understood.
right there.
Oh,
right, that's you. Oops.
Honey?
Yes?
I need my hat.
You can get that yourself, honey. You've already had your coffee.
As I should, honey. How do I look?
Like you're gonna go punch some bad guys. That doesn't seem like a punching bad guys hat to me. What do you think?
I like the glasses on top of the hat.
They're pretty strange.
Take care, honey.
I cannot believe how ridiculous and steampunk she looks.
I know.
Take
I
care.
like the overbust belt.
The like corset thing.
Yeah.
Oh wait, come back. I forgot to tell you something. I'm picking up my parents for tea after work.
That's nice. I like when they come over for tea.
Okay, I assume that's the prelude thing.
Unless they steal my cookies, of course.
Okay, like, it seems weird to me to be so, like, I don't know how steampunk this entire world is, but some of it is. And then I'm like, but no, like, if it's steampunk, you have to be eating biscuits.
It's so true.
Aw, come on, honey.
Yeah, a little.
When has that ever happened?
Last week?
You've got a point. I'll try to keep them in check this time. Take care, honey.
Take care, honey.
Oh. The
Do
morning
you
is
want to
nearly...
be Hank? I feel like you want to be Hank.
I just keep misreading who's talking. Okay. The morning is nearly past when I finally arrive at the museum. It's crowded with more policemen than visitors. Which is really saying something, especially for a morning. There are quite a lot of visitors. I didn't realize that our police force was this big. I guess if I'm going to do Hank's internal narration, I should do Hank's voices as well. Is
Yeah,
that
I'll do
okay?
everyone else.
Okay. The museum's director, Mr. Abrams, comes up to me as I enter the next room.
Mr. Abrams, thank goodness you came, Detective. The whole place is a mess.
Glad to be of service, Mr. Abrams. Could you fill me in on what happened?
You see, the thing is, last night our most prized possession, the golden sneeze, was stolen.
It has been in the museum for... Oh, that's you again.
It has been in this museum for decades. It has great historical value and was still being studied by the most famed of professors. Some say it holds great mystical powers, but at the very least, it's a big lump of gold. To be clear, the golden sneeze is worth more than its weight in gold.
And you lost it?
Yes.
Mr. Abrams, I need to ask you a couple of standard questions. Okay. Where were you? Any suspicious activity? Tell me about the golden sneeze.
I feel like every good detective always asks, where were you at the time of the crime first?
Sure, let's go with that one. We might get to ask all three of these. Where were you in the night of the robbery?
I was at a party looking for new investors for the museum.
Okay, so we just got a musical change thing, so this might be a note. Maybe you need to keep... This is a clue, I think.
Shoot.
Do you have a pen and paper?
Yeah, at a party. Writing it down. It's my job as museum director to expand these facilities, so we are looking for some new money.
Did it go well?
Can't really say. These things take time. A party is usually the first time we make contact. After that, we invite them over to the museum and let them have a look, and maybe then they'll invest in us.
Okay, that gives me a good overview of the situation. Okay, let's go through all of them. Have you seen any suspicious activity in the area?
Well, it could have been anyone, Detective. There have been so many people around here lately. In the museum. There might have been a suspicious person in here, but I wouldn't have noticed them.
So you haven't seen anything odd?
Don't they have security guards at the museum with something like worth its weight in gold?
No, apparently not.
Oh, sorry, that's me. No, I'm sorry.
Tell me about the golden sneeze. Who made it? Can you tell me a bit more about this golden sneeze?
Of course, Detective.
Okay, I had no idea what it was before we started playing this game. So finding out it's like a piece of art is kind of fun.
Yeah, totally. It could be anything. The golden sneeze is roughly 200 years old. That's about a century before the mechanical revolution came to be. In those days, people still believed in magic, so the records on it are a bit muddled, but we do have a backstory on it. There was a couple who only had one single daughter. They were very poor, but they lived a happy life. One day, their daughter fell ill. Her health deteriorated, and within a week, it seemed like she would not survive. The couple was devastated, but one fateful night, a monk appeared at their house. Though the couple did not have much to share, nonetheless, they gave the monk a meal. The couple talked a lot, and the monk learned of their ill daughter. He would not let it turn into a tragedy. The monk summoned their daughter and held up a handkerchief. He said to her, "Though you only know fear, you will be safe from this moment onward." At that moment, the girl sneezed louder than she had ever before, and when she opened her eyes, the golden sneeze laid in the handkerchief.
That's gross.
Magic or not. Her parents did not want to accept the golden sneeze as a gift, but the monk insisted upon it. He replied, "People with such generosity deserve to have more to share." In the next moment, he disappeared. The parents sold the object, and their daughter never went hungry again. At least, that's one version of the story.
I wonder if it's different in each version of the story you play.
Maybe the golden sneeze is a completely different object.
I hope so. At least
or
there's
different creation story.
Yeah, different background. I like it a lot less.
Amazing.
Like when it's some weird magic thing, then I thought it was just some modern art sculpture. Whoa.
In another version, the daughter drank molten gold, and the golden sneeze came out along with her dying breath.
That one's not any better.
But we prefer the first version. It's more kid-friendly.
Thank you for the enlightening talk, Mr. Abrams. I've heard enough.
That's the only option.
That'll be all. I'm going to take a look at the crime scene now. Let's see. Constable, how is the investigation going?
Quite well, Detective. We're finishing up the search as we speak.
That's good to hear. What have you discovered?
Well, one of the outer walls is missing. It's very likely the thief entered through there.
Yeah, just maybe. There was at the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg in Russia. There is a giant, I can't remember what it's made of, this gigantic thing that apparently they brought into the building while they were building it because it was too big to get through any doors.
Really?
Yep.
I thought you were going to say, and then it went missing, and
No,
then they couldn't figure out how
there.
they got it out.
That would be good, though. That would be a great crime.
I was really waiting for the end
Sorry.
of the story there. Sorry. We found a torn-off black piece of cloth. That's all.
It's the Goths that did it. Okay, you may go now. Okay. I think I've seen enough of the crime scene. I could look for other clues in the area, maybe see if there's something fishy in the museum. Or I could go visit my usual suspect. Where shall I go? Look in the museum, look in the area, visit your usual suspect. End the day.
End the day. End the day.
You just want to end it? Just say screw it?
No. Who's the usual suspect?
Okay, let's go visit the usual suspect. Some detectives have a list of criminals and crime suspects, making their work easier. Well, it makes my work easier when I can quickly find some suspects.
That's profiling.
It is.
Hank, what a coincidence finding you in my restaurant.
But Saphira, on the contrary, makes my job all the more difficult.
Look at her. So, is that a warrant in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? I'm happy to see you.
Okay, we're happy to see you. How nice to see you again.
I'm just so glad you had the time to come look at my new restaurant. Isn't it beautiful?
Saphira is the daughter of the Capone mob boss. Not that it's saying much. The mafia mostly dabbles in money laundering nowadays, and a restaurant is a perfect front for that. Yes, Saphira, it must have cost you quite a pretty penny.
It sure did, but I've been a good girl. I saved up to afford it.
I'm sure you've been a good girl, and you definitely didn't pickpocket an entire restaurant while nobody was looking.
Oh, Detective Hank, did you come here just to tell me funny jokes?
No, madame, I'm just on an investigation.
Aw, can't even spare a little bit of entertainment for little old me.
No, this is just an investigation, period. I thought I was happy to see her. What happened if we weren't happy to see her?
Maybe you should have read that in a sarcastic voice.
Oh, true, yeah.
Excuse me? Are you making fun of my gender?
How could I have?
Period.
Was I making fun of you, or it's just an expression?
Let's say just an expression.
Okay, we're gonna try and be nice. I'm not here to entertain you, Saphia. What brings you here? Oh.
What brings you here, then?
I think the problem is I haven't had a co-host for several episodes of this, so I'm used to doing all the dialogue reading myself. Last night, the golden sneeze was stolen from the Museum of Ancient History. Did you have anything to do with it?
Why would I have anything to do with that?
Look, I don't have time for this folly. You either answer my questions or you come down to the station with me.
Are you blackmailing me?
Are you making fun of my skin color?
Well, so much for a bit of fun. No, Detective, I had nothing to do with that robbery. I liked gemstones. Gold isn't my style, so I wouldn't have stolen it solely for the money. And I didn't, by the way. Anyway, this restaurant is doing pretty well, so it would have been pretty stupid of me to hit up that dusty museum. Happy now?
Yes, I think I am. Do you have anything else to add, Ms. Capone?
Well, I could see if I could hear something from the streets, but you'll try to get me to do that anyway, am I right?
I believe I may.
Get out of here before I change my mind, Detective. With her thugs.
I don't understand whose dialogue this is.
Because she's not in the picture.
Afterwards, I was making my way through town when suddenly, I think it's Hank now. The explosion says
Kaboom!
What was that?
Mister, you have to get help. It's horrible.
A little girl approached me. She had a weird way of talking and an even weirder intonation in her voice. She was probably in shock. It's okay, little girl. I can help you. What's your name?
Timo, I guess?
There was something wrong with that girl. She was neither injured nor shocked. I'm Hank, and I'm a detective. Did you see what happened?
Someone set off a bomb further down the street.
I think it was this girl that set off the bomb. Like, look at all those, test tubes.
Oh, yeah,
She's, got a bandolier of test tubes.
Yeah, she does.
Did you get a good look at whoever did it?
No.
Why not?
Because I didn't have a mirror on me when I did it.
Oh, wow. Well, you got to the bottom of that one quickly, Hank. That kid was clearly not who she seemed to be. Explain yourself.
Enough with the games, Detective. I'm glad I found you, and I'm glad I've caught your attention. You know about the golden sneeze? It's mine, and I want it back.
You may have already noticed, but I'm not going to help you with that, little girl.
Little girl. Then I'm afraid we aren't going to be friends now, are we? Goodbye, Detective. I'm sure we will meet again soon. Mwahaha!
Why did I let her leave? Oh, the girl ran away and I gave chase. I saw her run into an alley and dive into a small hole. Unfortunately, I didn't fit through it. I called it in, but at that time she was already long gone. Look at my telephone.
I love
It was
it.
careless of her to give a name, even though it might be fake. I now have something to identify her by. I'll get you next time, Tomo.
That
Where shall I
phone
go?
is like, it's super like steampunk, but it's like miraculously a cell phone.
Yeah. Okay, let's look in the
look
museum.
in the area.
Okay, you want to look in the area? Let's go for it.
Because she like ran away in the area.
Okay, let's look outside the museum. I don't think we're going to see her again. Okay, it looks like the thief could have gone in multiple directions. The broken wall edges on an alleyway. Even though they took out a wall, they could have easily gotten away unseen. Last night, no one was around, so the thief probably got away just fine. There's not much else to see out here. Where shall I go? Okay, look in the museum.
Museum, then I suppose.
Beside the crime scene, the stuff in display here is really old. There's a spear that's over 2,000 years old, or at least what's left of a spear. I'm confused. It said this was the Museum of Ancient History. But the Golden Sneeze is 200 years old, and like those paintings do not look that old to me.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
confused. Also, isn't there usually old things in a museum? Like, he seems confused about the fact that it's got old things.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see how this museum has like art like that, and also a spear that's 2,000 years old.
And
That
usually
seems-
museums have like cohesive exhibits, right? Like everything in that room would normally be from like the same era.
Yeah. Like seeing like a weird like marble chest piece
Bust.
next to like some like nature paintings seems really strange.
Agreed.
There's also a canoe that may be even older than that.
Oh,
This
and
stuff
the
is pretty
canoe.
interesting. I wonder how many others would think the same thing. I'm just going to check the guest book of the museum. I'm investigating. I can do that. I suspected it. Everybody likes the museum. There have been plenty of visitors. Okay, end the day. That was completely unhelpful.
Yeah.
The day is nearing.
Well, no,
its-
we met Tomo.
I know,
It
but
was
the, like
good
looking around the
day.
museum was unhelpful, is what I mean.
Mm.
The day is nearing its end as I head home. I receive a phone call from the office.
I forget what voice I did for Captain Stevens.
It's fine.
Hank, what's the status of the Golden Sneeze case?
Well, first of all, there's the crime scene. One of the outer walls is missing. It's very likely the thief entered through there. Oh my gosh, they're all idiots. We found a torn off black piece of cloth. And I met that girl.
This is no time to talk about your private life, Detective.
Hear me out, Captain. She blew up part of the street, and when I got hold of her, she asked me to give her the Golden Sneeze. I've got more than a hunch that she's connected to the case.
She told you. Well done, Detective. This will help the investigation immensely.
I didn't realize that he was actually a cop.
She told you, like, the Golden Sneeze is mine. And like, he's like, I think she might be connected. We've got a lot of people on this case, and I want you to make sure the security at the museum is up to snuff.
It is not.
Wait, he's in charge of security?
Who knows?
Tomorrow, you will help Mr. Abrams ensure that not so much as a guppy could sneak in there. Understood?
Understood. I don't like it, but I seem to be the best security expert at the Bureau, so now I'm stuck patching up the museum. Oh well, I don't mind looking at the stuff they've got. I'll make sure to inspect all the display cases very carefully. I get home before Mary does. The place is dark, so I stumble to find the light switch. Some days it's nice to have the house to yourself. I spoke too soon.
You didn't say I spoke too soon. Hey, hon, I'm home. I brought your in-laws with me.
Great to see you back, sweetie. Let me say hi to your parents. Okay, are they going to be ridiculous steampunk people too?
They're gonna steal his cookies.
Peter, how's life? How's the business?
Same as always, Hank. Making a lot of steam. No pun intended, of course. Let's just say we can handle the pressure.
Paul, it's so nice to see you.
Oh, sorry, I guess that's me too. So, tea and cookies, everyone?
As always, it gets late quickly when Mary's parents are over. In my life, I've never once understood the jokes about terrible in-laws. I've always seemed to get along with mine perfectly well, except when they steal cookies, I guess. Granted, I don't have a mother-in-law, but Mary's parents didn't give me the evil eye when I went to pick her up on our first date either. Plus, I love to hear stories from the robot factory when they're over for tea. It's always a good time. Except maybe that one time when they conspired to steal my cookies. But that was last week, and I got them back at the end. Water under the bridge and all that. What did I do to them?
He's really fixated on the cookies. Honey, I'm gonna show the new doorbell mechanism to Peter. We'll be right back.
Being left alone with my father-in-law is still just as awkward, though.
So, I read on the news you've got some work to do with the golden sneeze case, don't you, Hank?
Snap. Now he started interrogating me. I hate it when my in-laws want to know about my work. Come on, Hank. Reverse psychology. You know this. How do you know about that, Paul?
Well, I just told you. I read it on the news.
Double snap. Why can't I be more professional at home? Fine, Paul. Let's see who will be interrogating who this evening. I must use my replies carefully if I want to hold my ground. Yes, about that news. Okay, a lot happened in the city. The investigating is going strong. What about your news?
A lot happens in the city?
Sure,
Just
let's
vague.
go.
Keep it vague. Keep it vague.
Today the golden sneeze was stolen. Tomorrow it'll be something else.
That golden sneeze is really something, isn't it? I wonder how much it's worth.
Not good. He's not switching topics. Why can't I leave my work at work?
Have you seen the museum, by the way?
Of course it's the crime scene. What about it? I've seen all the buildings.
Every single one. What about it?
Is the museum a nice tourist attraction? What?
What? We saw a lot when we took a look around town yesterday. Doesn't he live in town?
Good, not a word about my job.
By the way, are there any suspects in the case yet?
This is so weird.
I'm so confused.
You aren't going to let it go, are you, Paul? We have many suspects. Have you been there
Why
recently?
is he so antagonistic towards his father-in-law?
I don't understand why he seems to be terrible.
Have you been there recently?
We're just going to accuse them. Have you been at the museum lately, Paul?
Yeah. During our walk around town, Peter and I actually went to the museum and took a look at the exhibition. They have such beautiful things on display.
Ding dong.
It's a pretty neat mechanism. I installed it yesterday.
So what have you two been up to? Oh wait, that's you.
What have you two been up to?
Oh, not much. A standard father to son-in-law interrogation.
Who says that? Wait, what?
To be continued. About to save your game. Game saved. Day 2.
Same old morning. What? Maybe something special will happen today. Abrams, we need to talk. You've been getting an awful lot of customers lately thanks to my sneeze. As long as it was on display, sure. Don't play games with me, Abrams. It's around here somewhere. And I'm sure if that was the case, you'd already have it. Aren't these games usually like the first person protagonist is in every scene?
Yeah, this is unusual.
This is unusual, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. How did you get in here anyway? Easily. There's a hole in your wall. I'll be seeing you soon, Abrams.
Chapter 2. A golden opportunity. I woke up early this morning and had a quick cup of coffee. This case is bugging me. Why did the thief use so much force to enter the museum? Why did he or she need to get it through a wall? Unless, of course, that was the easiest way for them to gain access. The thief must have access to powerful tools.
Hey, hun, you forgot your hat.
Thanks, I'm gonna need that in... Wait, what time is it? 1/2 late for work. Oh wait, that's you again. Shit.
1/2 late for work.
Grr, I've been thinking too long. Oh well, I'll write it off as working on the case. Besides, the museum is close to our house anyway. See you later.
Aw, I'm gonna miss ya.
How come? We're never together on work days.
I know, but I've suddenly got a couple of days off, so we would have been together if you didn't have to work.
I'm sorry.
Is that a red herring?
I'm afraid I can't do much about it now. Who do you suspect right now?
She's got a couple days off of work.
Okay, so the possible thieves so far are the mob boss daughter, the weird street child, the museum director, either of my fathers-in-laws, my wife, or the
constable.
The constable could be the constable. So there's 7 potentials. I guess I could also have stole it, but that seems unlikely.
True.
Okay.
It's okay. I'm gonna go visit Dad and Dad at the robot factory, so I won't be alone at least.
That's a relief. I'm off.
Take care. ...
Good morning, Mr. Abrams. How are you two? Whoa, you don't look good. What happened?
Detective, I'm afraid that my security needs more work than I'd thought. In this very room, a little girl snuck in and said hi to me before we opened.
Terrible.
I think that's because there's a massive hole in the wall and he didn't do anything about it yet.
What? Did you sneak in through the hole in your wall?
Yes.
Mr. Abrams, no offense, but I think it's high time we patched that hole. Did the girl have gray hair and a blue cape by any chance?
How? How did you know?
I didn't, but I do have the hunch that we need to secure this museum as quickly as possible. Do you have anyone in the place to get the museum up to snuff? I have a couple of handymen, and I know someone who can get me some building materials. But where am I going to get equipment to fix that gaping hole? Well, I might know someone. I feel like there was something... One of the characters was wrong in that. Okay.
Maybe.
Never thought I'd give real estate advice.
So, who is this fabled person?
Do you know any terrible in-law jokes?
Detective, I'm a curator, not a comedian, so no, I don't know any terrible in-law jokes.
Good. My in-laws make enough terrible jokes already. Later.
Oh, sorry. Henry! I mean, Mr. Abrams, what brings you to our factory so early in the morning?
Paul, we need some equipment to fix the museum. Any suggestions?
But of course. Walk this way, please.
That robot is terrifying. Our
Wow,
newest
that's the War of the Worlds.
Yeah. Our newest model here is the Goliath. It can pretty much do anything. Moving large objects, breaking down walls and building them up again, or even expanding your building. You name it, it does it.
Breaking down walls.
You can't go wrong with the Goliath.
Sounds like could be the in-laws.
Yeah.
That sounds like an excellent machine, Mr. Smith. But where am I going to put it after the renovations? Well, you could always just rent it, I guess. If that's fine with you, shall we start on the paperwork? I think we shall, Detective. I'll be right back with you.
I'll see you in a bit, Mr. Abrams. The reason I first became a detective is hard to explain. Whenever something is stolen, the thief tries not to leave any clues behind, so the only evidence of change is the stolen thing being gone. Although a broken wall is entered pretty blatantly, but that's beside the point. Victims try to make peace with their loss, sometimes in vain, and that's where I come in. I use the thief's clues to try to make their crime undone, because in the end, your property should feel as safe as it was before.
Lady in a blue dress. Hank, funny meeting you here.
And then I found out that my job was far from done.
I was just going around with the boys, looking at some of the equipment. We're gonna make my restaurant extra pretty.
As long as you pay for the equipment, afterwards, you can look as much as you want.
You're no fun, Detective. You know what? I will look at more equipment.
Thank goodness she got bored quickly. I didn't want to have to deal with her shenanigans this early in the morning.
Excuse me, Detective.
Mr. Abrams, I take it the paperwork went well?
Yes, and with the museum being in the news lately, I could stand to make a bit more of extra money.
Hold on, Abrams, what are you saying? Does this mean that the heist benefited you? What's your part in this whole thing? Did you steal the golden sneeze for your own gain? I'd better get to the bottom of this. Talk about the news. I'm sure it'll be okay. How are you coping?
How are you coping?
How have you kept the museum afloat since the heist? The entire day. It's pretty morbid, actually. One heist and suddenly you're in more newspapers than you could ever read in a day. They didn't write nearly as much about me when I paid for an advertisement. So the news was eager to write about you ever since the heist. Good to know, but did it benefit you? What's your next move?
Did he ever respond?
I think it just had Hank's name instead of his name.
Oh, right. This needs a bit of editing, I think.
Yeah.
Any press is good press, I suppose. is a logical conclusion.
Who cares about the news? Any price is good for us, right? Even if it's because of a heist?
Being a curator sometimes seems eerily close to being a magician, Detective. A museum may have its share of trouble, but if you can convince an investor you're worth it, you can stay open for years.
Thank you for the insight, but that doesn't tell me anything. How has the heist helped you? So you're holding it fine then. What's the news wrote was great. Investors helped you out, right?
I want to know about those investors.
Okay, let's go with the investors.
Because that's a potential lead.
So if I have this straight, the customers don't matter. The investors' money does.
I am so pleased with our investors. At least they could see the big picture, and they're keeping the museum afloat.
No, I can't incriminate you with innocent stuff like that. Oh well, guess I'll have to take this. Just let this lead slide.
Your in-laws are quite the couple, Detective.
What do you mean?
I'm so happy for them. They can work together. I don't know how many couples who could handle that. I have so much trouble entertaining the missus with tales from my work that I don't even bother trying anymore. What about you, Detective? Is your partner interested in hearing about how you were punching the bad guys? Excuse me, did I say something wrong?
No, Mr. Abrams. I just realized I did something very stupid this morning.
I won't pry, but it's best if you fix that then. By the way, Detective, I'm heading back to the museum now. Would you like a ride with me?
That's an interesting question. If I stay here, I can keep an eye on Saphira and maybe check out the robots a bit more. But if I go, I can check out the museum a second time and maybe catch Tomo again. So where shall I go?
Ooh. Might have an interesting conversation back in the car, but you know what good information is forthcoming.
I say let's try and track down Tomo.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go back to town. Why, thank you, Mr. Abrams. I think I'll take a quick extra look around the museum while I'm at it.
Oh, good. I'll tell the driver to get ready. I'll wait for you to say toodles to your family.
Hun, I've got to go.
Yeah, me too. I've got plans with a friend.
Oh, before I forgot, I wanted to talk to you about something.
Can't it wait? I'm in a bit of a hurry. I don't know why she's all of a sudden from like...
Somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
I guess it can. I'll see you this evening. Later. I don't know, Mr. Abrams. Even with that robot, there's still quite a lot to do.
That's you, isn't it?
Sorry, I was coughing. The vents are opening up access to multiple areas. Some walls are really thin. And I think one of your guards wanted money from me a while ago.
I know. I've been quite busy lately. I wasn't paying enough attention to the state of my security. But we're working on it now, and that's what counts. So, is there anything else you want to show me? Or shall I point out some other things myself?
You lead the way. Take a look at this. Let's see what Hank has to think, yeah. I think there's still some things to do upstairs. If you grab a notepad, I'll climb through the vents to see where they lead.
I'm beginning to think I shouldn't have installed such a high-capacity vents.
Let me just check them first. The damage probably won't be that bad. Let's see. I'm stuck. Could you give me a hand here? Later. Well, I'm glad we took care of all the nooks and crannies in the museum.
Thank you, Detective. I feel much safer now. The museum's security will be reinforced. He reinforced the security by just, like, going into the vent and getting stuck?
I guess so. I'm glad that, as a detective, I get to keep the streets safe.
Kaboom!
Although this part of the street seems to be cursed lately. Me and my big mouth. Tomo, I should have known.
Detective, nice to see ya. Have you found my sneeze yet? Or do I need to persuade you to work faster?
Tomo looks like she might throw that explosive in her hand at any moment. This isn't good. I need to calm her down and maybe try to get some information out of her. I need to defuse the situation, so to speak. No, Hank, this isn't the time for puns. That's your in-law's job. What should I say to her? Tomo, about the investigation. Stop this right now. I'm working on it.
I think playing nice is good. I'm working on it.
Okay. Look, Tomo, I know you're upset, but you can't rush the police work.
I just want to get my sneeze back.
This girl keeps going on about that ancient relic being hers. What's that about? Were you there when it was stolen? The golden sneeze isn't yours.
I wish there's more options. I just want to know the backstory.
I know, me too.
Well, let's play nice. Were you there when it was stolen?
If you care so much about the golden sneeze, could you tell me where you were when it was stolen?
You can bet I was around the museum when it happened. I'm not leaving my sneeze all alone. I've been trying to get my hands on it for a long time.
So she was near the museum. She might have seen something or even stolen it herself. Well, I'm glad you could tell me something about it without blowing anything up again. You're suddenly quiet.
Sorry, Detective. When you get to be my age, your timing can be a little off.
Age? You're a little girl. What do you mean by that?
It means I've got plenty of time. I've got to run, Hank, but I'll see you later. So
No,
I think
wait.
Tomo's like a time traveler.
I don't know what, Tomo. And she's gone again. Later. I was heading home when my phone rang.
Hank, we've received an anonymous tip that the Golden Sneeze may be headed to Old Haversham. Given that there's a big black market there, it might be a good spot to check out.
Understood. I'll take the next train over tonight. And then I suddenly spotted something from the corner of my eye. At the end of the street, I saw a scruffy-looking man holding a package. Excuse me, sir. May I see what you're holding there? It was clearly the Golden Sneeze, but before I could react...
Sorry, buddy. You didn't pay me enough to talk to you. Sorry, they didn't.
A car with a roaring engine and screeching tires drove by. The thug jumped inside it and escaped.
You! Get back there! Don't think you can steal from me!
And apparently I wasn't the only one chasing that guy. I immediately gave chase. Unfortunately, I couldn't run fast enough or hail a cab in time, so the car got away. That tip was right. I knew the Golden Sneeze was heading to the train station. It was time to recruit some reliable backup.
The thug looked the same as the bodyguard that Saphira had, or is that just a coincidence?
Maybe it's a red herring.
Ooh.
This is highly
Dum-de-dum,
suspicious.
dum-de-dum, doing normal things, la la la.
Honey, I have to talk to you. It's really important.
Honey, what's going on? You're making no sense.
Well, do you remember how this morning you were free and I went to work and we barely saw each other?
Yes?
I should have asked you to come along with me. It would have been way more fun.
Aw, that's sweet of you to say.
But that's not all. I think the Golden Sneeze is headed to the train station, then to the Old Haversham this evening.
And you thought you'd take me instead of a policeman?
Yes, I need someone I can trust and blend in with. She definitely blends in, right?
With that steampunk outfit?
Yeah.
Someone who likes to punch bad guys, maybe?
Pretty much, yes.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's go! Now!
If she really liked punching bad guys, she would punch Hank, though, since he's a cop. Okay. We arrive well in time for the night train, and we meet up with a pair of friendly faces before leaving.
Friendly face. Hank! Mary! I didn't know you guys were taking the night train.
Paul, Peter, I didn't know you had business in the next town over.
There's an investors party over there, so this gorilla wanted to crash it.
His hair is so weird.
Peter, have you forgotten the best part already? Strong cider, straight from the tap. Oh, that's me again, sorry. Dads, I'm happy you're setting me a great good example by taking the train. By the way, can you say hi to Mr. Abrams for me if you see him? He seems to be taking the train tonight as well. Paul, we need to load up our robot. Kids, we'll see you later.
I'm not sure it's a great idea for Mr. Abrams to get on this train.
How come, Detective?
Good to see you, Mr. Abrams. I believe it would be unwise for you to take this train ride. There's a good chance that the Golden Sneeze is on there, as well as the thief, and he or she may try to harm you.
Come on, Detective. Do you think I'd be scared over a little threat like that? I'll see you at the bistro wagon. Honey, everything okay?
This situation just got a bit more dangerous, but it's okay. I can handle it.
Not so friendly face. Mary, what are you doing here?
I'm guessing this is the mob daughter.
Saphira! I'm just about to go on an epic quest with my hubby. It's great to see you two together for once. I need to get my luggage to the cabin now, but I'll see you later. Take care, you two. See you later, Saphira.
You don't know each other?
Yes, from Alice's self-defense party. Why?
I'm about to get on a train with the perpetrator of a crime, the main victim of a heist, the main suspect of said heist, and my dear family. Also, my wife seems to spend time with an alleged criminal. I just wanted a quiet train ride.
Don't worry, my love. I'll protect you.
Following the trail. Usually I'd enjoy a good train ride, but there's too many important people in this ride for it to be enjoyable. Fortunately, I came prepared. I told the police force to take some precautions over at the next station, and I told the conductor to secure all of the goods and keep an extra close eye on the passengers.
It's a good thing you got that portable phone of yours on you so I can call everyone involved as needed.
I'm not too fond of it, to be honest. I mean, if it wasn't required of the job, why would anyone want this? It runs out of steam within 2 days, and they need to find a tap to refill the water. And if I'm lucky, someone calls me on it just so I can say, "Hi, this is Hank. I've got a phone with a landline 4 feet away, but I refuse to stand up and walk over to it."
Grr, I'm Hank and I hate new things. I want to communicate using only smoke signals. Come on, you gotta admit that was funny.
There was a meme going around on Twitter recently that was like, create your humanities, thesis title.
Mm-hmm.
And mine was like, it was something like communicating silences in new media. And I realized that like the ... dots in these games is like exactly what that could be about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was a spot-on imitation, honey. Too bad it was of me.
Cheer up, honey. I know you're stressed out by this ride, but you can blend in a little like that. Can't, sorry. Let's get a smile on your face so we can find that thief.
As always, you may be daft, but you're definitely right.
Let's get to business.
Yes, let's do that. We can go in 2 directions on this train. Firstly, there's the front end with the cargo and the coach section. Saphira went there, so maybe if there's any trouble on it, it's probably there. Then at the back of the train, there's the bistro wagon. Mr. Abrams went there, and since they have snacks, I reckon your parents are there too.
So, it's like a mullet. Business in the front, party in the back.
You truly are your father's daughter, aren't you?
Do you really want me to make a joke about there being a high chance of relation?
You've already done so let's not. Where do you think we should go? Go to Peter, Paul, and Mr. Abrams, secure the front of the train.
Your choice.
I feel if we're role-playing as Hank is going to go to the bistro wagon so we can get, like, a snack.
Yeah, true. Want some cookies.
Yeah. So let's go see them.
Let's check on my dads. Who knows what trouble they might get into at the bistro wagon.
Your dads are always getting into trouble one way or another. I'd worry more about Mr. Abrams.
There's an even better reason to check it out. Let's go!
We make our way to the bistro wagon at the back of the train. Lo and behold, the old men are all partying like cavemen. Of course, cavemen don't hold their cocktails straight and don't casually discuss their businesses. But Paul always seems to get a bit overexcited whenever there's a party.
There's a lot of corny jokes in this.
It's terrible.
Ooga booga! See kids on train? Bring food! Down, boy. Don't scare the little ones. We still have a couple hours left to go. I'm still getting us snacks, though.
Okay, I think I need to be at least one other person in this scene. Who do you want me to be?
Well, I don't know what conversation is coming up next.
Okay, I'll be Mary as well. Is that the name of my wife? Yes.
Yeah, sure.
I'm so good at remembering details.
Meep! Don't leave me alone in this crowd. Detective, what a pleasure to see you could make it. Have you found the thief yet?
It can't be far, Mr. Abrams. We've taken every precaution we could, and we'll catch him very soon. We're on an epic stealth mission. Museum man, the thief better watch out.
I got a bunch of snacks. Yippee! So, Hank, what brings you to this part of the train?
Paul, I'm pleased that you're handing me the opportunity to discuss it. What shall we talk about next? Snacks?
The golden sneeze, that's why we're here.
Yeah, okay. Gentlemen, I must inform you that I'm close to catching the thief, but also I still need proof. If I want to lock the thief up, I'm going to need cold, hard facts for the trial. There's no freaking way we're catching this thief. Mr. Abrams, since you're the owner of the museum, could you tell me more about the surroundings of the museum?
I'm not sure what to tell you about it that you don't already know, Detective.
There was almost no one near the museum when it was robbed, except for some guards. Where was everyone?
Party! 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 Party!
Honey, this is the part where you say you have a hunch.
Daughter dearest, Hank does not have a hunch.
Ouch.
That burn. Because he's still walking straight.
My dearest family, could you please not exercise your constitutional right of free speech right now? This was a serious conversation not even 2 seconds ago. Mr. Abrams, as my dear family tried to say, there seems to have been a good party near the museum.
Well, yes, but it was rather embarrassing. I'd rather not talk about that. Come on, Abrams, old chap. It was a delightful party. Don't sell yourself short. Would you like to hear about the new collection I'm creating around the golden sneeze? That's a much better topic, and it doesn't involve embarrassing me.
So Mr. Abrams really doesn't want to talk about that party. Fair enough, but could he be hiding something? Also, could this new museum collection truly be important? Or shall I steer the conversation? Talk about the party. Definitely.
Yeah, the party. That's where all the evidence is.
Mr. Abrams, what was so embarrassing about that party?
I'd rather not. Come on, Abrams. You were epic at that party. Hush, Paul. Give the poor man a little space. Could have happened to anyone. But nobody could have saved it as epically as he did. I'd still rather not.
Come on, Mr. Abrams. You can tell us. We won't bite.
Well, if you really want to hear it, I suppose I could make an exception. You see, I slipped on an orange. It was really quite embarrassing. And then he...
Hush, Dad. Let the man finish.
Yes, well, I had quite some velocity when that happened, and I instinctively grabbed onto the table. Next thing I know, I'm standing on the table with my feet only inches away from the bowl of punch. And as these two kept trying to announce, I made a loop-de-loop while riding said table. You should have been there! And I'd rather you hadn't.
I take it that all of you attend these kinds of parties regularly.
I am a curator, not an animal detective. I never would have thought so. We see you at quite a lot of parties. That last one was no exception. If it was that close to the museum, you had to have been there. Well, you seem to be enjoying your fair share of parties too, aren't you? And we always seem to enjoy our parties with you in tow, don't we? Well, yes, but... Come on. You know this song. Let's sing it together. Sigh. 99 bottles of beer on the wall. 99 bottles of beer. Take one down. But the waiter's around. 127 bottles of beer on the wall.
Thanks for sharing that. If I'm correct, the robbery happened during this party. Let's see what happened there. I'll ask around. The dads and their parties route from party to museum. The route? Let's try and get an actual clue, I guess. Was the distance between the museum and the party the only reason that you attended? Amanda? Hello?
Sorry.
Okay.
Goodness no. My house is near the museum too, so I easily jumped from my work to the party and then to the missus. Hey, I remember her. She's a nice lady.
So you could have gone home, gave kisses to the missus, checked on the museum, and then went back to the party. All without anyone ever noticing that you were missing?
Yes, I could have done that. It would have been rude, but I could have.
Well done, Mary. You just proved that Abrams had an opportunity to commit the crime that night. He has the keys to the museum. He could have easily snuck in. The wall got exploded, you fool. It's rude not to give kisses to the missus if she misses you. What shall we talk about next? Small talk, enough talking, let's go.
Is there anything else that we could really get from that? We've already gotten Mary's big key that he could have been there.
I think let's just get going. I don't want to talk to them anymore.
It's confusing with like 6 people there.
Yeah. It was a pleasure talking to you. I think we'll be on our way to investigate the rest of the train now. Screech! What was that? The train went too hard on the brakes for this to be part of the regular routine. Hold on, honey. I'm going to take a look at the window. You may want to take a look at this. The train seems to be stopped because of a little girl. Tomo. You can do Mary again, I guess.
Okay. Honey, are you doing any weird things I should know about?
We need to get to the front of the train as fast as possible.
On to an adventure. Thug. Look, little girl, put down the explosives and let the grown-up go, okay? You have my sneeze. I'm not gonna let you go that easily.
Tomo, hold it right there.
What the? Hey, hold it. Detective, you're the worst. I just had him.
Let me fix that. Unit 2, we've got a runner.
I'm on it. See, that phone always comes in handy. I mean, grr, punch the bad guys.
Tomo, it's time when we had a serious talk.
Let me go. Sir, you have the right to remain silent. I suggest you exercise it.
Okay, so like...
That wasn't the full Miranda rights.
It's not even that. It's that like American culture is so like...
Yes.
Like not every country has that right. You know?
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
why does
yeah.
your weird fantasy steampunk world have that?
You could have imagined anything, and you
Yeah.
imagined something based off of U.S. like cop culture.
We'll have a serious talk right after the police are done with that guy.
All right, detective, what do you want?
That's a good question, but I'm not going to outright tell her that I want to know what she's doing here. As long as I can keep talking to her, she won't run away or wreak any havoc. Let me see what I can talk. What can I talk about kids? Maybe if I talk about her age positively, I can coach her into talking. You can offend children by telling them they're too young, so I'll have to be careful. You want to know what I want? In that case, tell me, where are your parents? How old are you really? Tell me more about the sneeze.
I think she's a time traveler.
Tell me more about the
And
sneeze.
she's the original girl, like, who the
Yeah.
sneeze belonged to 200 years ago.
I think it's not even 200 years old.
Well, they said in the beginning.
Yeah, they said that was a story. I don't think it's 200 years old.
Oh, maybe not. Okay.
Since you know so much about the golden sneeze, tell me more about it.
Detective, truly, you know nothing.
I think Tomo is very true. This is very true.
Truthful.
Fair enough, but tell me then. Those beakers hanging around your toaster seem to hold a lot of explosives.
Did it take long to make them?
Definitely that
Those
long.
are all... Okay.
How long did it take you to make those? The mixing must have taken ages.
So conversational. To be honest, it took me 20 years to master the craft of making these explosives. And it's none of your business what I'm gonna do with them.
20 years? That long? How did she... Wait a minute. Things don't add up. You appear randomly and blow things up just to get the golden sneeze. Tell me.
Explain everything. These are all terrible options again.
I want to go with the third one. I want to just give the golden sneeze to her.
Okay. Okay. It's yours.
The golden sneeze truly is yours, isn't it?
Detective, you had admirable detective skills, so we'll let you in on this. The sneeze is mine, and it has been mine for as long as it's existed. That's why I'm after it.
I suppose that's all you're going to tell me, isn't it?
I'm afraid so. You wanted to hear more?
As much as I can.
I think it's time for me to go. I wish you luck with that thug.
How so?
He doesn't have the sneeze. Not anymore, anyway.
All units, have any of you found the golden sneeze?
I'm sorry, Detective. There's nothing on the train and the runner didn't have it on him. Everything okay, honey?
I'm not sure. Fortunately, if I'm correct, the golden sneeze is still back in the city. Unfortunately, there's a large chance that the thug was a transporter, and he was just dropping it off somewhere. It's probably back in the hands of the thief again.
Chin up, honey. You'll catch him.
You're right, it should be easy for the self-proclaimed greatest detective in the world.
Self-proclaimed. And then I'm gonna punch them.
To be continued. Okay, so we've hit an hour. Do you want to keep playing, or what do you want? Or do you want to stop here?
Gosh, it has been an hour, hasn't it? Are we like halfway through?
I have absolutely no idea.
Well, let's keep going for a little bit then, I guess.
Okay.
Honey, come on! You need to unwind a little after all that detective work.
I know, but that botched sting on the train, it's hard to get any rest.
Well, isn't it nice then that I've taken you out to a nice restaurant?
I'm glad to be out again, honey. It's just, why did it have to be Saphira's restaurant?
Sir, madam, here's your main course. Please enjoy.
She didn't even hire professional staff. I can't believe she asked her boys to be the waiters.
I noticed that, thug. Serving. Honey, enough. Saphira's just trying to run an honest business here. At least try the food before you judge her.
Okay, I will. Om nom nom. Hey, this is pretty good. Very good even. It seems like she spent all of her budget on the chef. You're right. It was too quick to judge her. I'll show her some goodwill by giving my compliments to the chef. Excuse me, waiter.
Yes, sir?
Please give my compliments to the chef.
Let me get her. She would like to hear that personally, I'm sure. Wow! Look, Hank, this is one of the places that still appreciates personal recognition. What's up, Hank? Hi, Mary. I heard you wanted to tell me something.
I love that she's like a cookie in that dress.
I know, like a ball gown. Saphira! You're the chef at this restaurant? Of course I am. I took lessons from our other cook, and I enjoy perfecting food as an art. It's a no-brainer, actually.
Saphira, I wanted to give my compliments for the food. It's really delicious.
Why, thank you, Hank. Glad you like it. Unfortunately, I've got to run before something burns. Bye! She did a good job starting up this restaurant.
I agree with you, honey. I was too quick to judge. However, I find it a bit weird that the restaurant is this empty. It's dinner time. Where are the other customers?
Boys, don't let that dessert burn or I will kill you! That was uncomfortably audible.
She needs to work in that temper. No customers willingly returns for death threats at dinner.
Still kinda kills the mood, doesn't it?
Saphira, I shouldn't be too fast to judge, but you said the restaurant was doing well. Your lack of customers says otherwise. If you don't have customers, you have a very good motive to get your money elsewhere, and you might just have stolen the golden sneeze. I can't...
Tying?
Eyeing?
Oh,
tying tight ends.
Oh.
Right?
That was confusing.
I think that's got to be it.
Yeah.
It can't be.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's fight
It
ends.
looks like fight.
Ugh, this case makes me so mad. Hey, it's in our office. I've caught... The thug we caught might have been one of Saphira's boys, but by the looks of it, he was operating on his own. He was definitely hired as a transporter, but he's keeping his lips closed about who might have hired him, as they often do. He even denies being hired by anyone in the first place. That doesn't matter. We just have to focus on finding the person who really stole the golden sneeze. The pool of suspects isn't overly large, but they all could have done it, just as well. Maybe none of them did. I have a feeling that the suspect may be backed into a very unexpected corner. I think I'll need to talk to everyone once more, then maybe I'll figure out who stole the golden sneeze. Who shall I visit next? We could just skip it all. Just get to the end and be like, we have no idea who did it.
End the day. Mr. Abrams again? I don't know. Tomo?
Let's pick one of them, and then just end the day. Does that seem alright with you?
Yeah. Okay. Let's do Tomo.
Okay, we're gonna go hang out with Tomo.
Because she's the most like cryptic, you know.
Yeah. I need to ask Tomo if that's really her name. One last thing before I can wrap up this investigation. A piece of cheap black fabric I forgot about that clue entirely. It was found at the crime scene. Could it be hers? I might not know where she is at this every moment, but I know a way to easily locate her. Oh no, I found a big lump of gold. I hope no one will try to blow me up.
Detective, that's the worst bait I've heard someone use in centuries. I told you she's a time traveler.
She might just be immortal. But it worked, didn't it?
Fine. What do you want from me?
I'll either have to trick her into giving me the information or just outright ask for it. What shall I do? Just ask her.
Just ask her, dummy.
Do you have any holes in your clothes?
Sure. 1 for my head, 2 for my arms, and 2 for my legs. What's your point?
Is she wearing a onesie? No, I mean, did you tear your clothes at any point last week?
Detective, if this is what you called me for, you're wasting your time. My time.
No, don't.
Kaboom!
I wish you'd cut that out. Who shall I visit next? No one. We're done.
We're done.
The day hasn't completely passed by the time I return to the station. Good, maybe I can do some paperwork and then go home early. But I spoke too soon.
Detective, we've brought in a woman who we believe was robbing a bank.
Oh, do you think it's our wife?
Yeah, maybe.
Hold it, Constable. Do you have any proofs that she did it?
Well, She was found near the bank with a bag that registered to the bank and filled to the brim with cash.
Well, that sounds... Wait, is it who I think it is?
I'm afraid so, sir. I think it's Saphira.
Well, let's get this over with. Oh, okay.
Told ya. So, we meet again, detective.
So it seems. Look, Saphira, there's a reason you're my usual suspect, but this is simply ridiculous. You were caught red-handed with a bag of money that's registered to the robbed bank.
It was my money, and I got that bag from the bank last week. It only seemed fitting to bring my money back in it.
Maybe she hasn't robbed the bank, but my investigation of the museum is still ongoing. Since she's here, I may as well interrogate her. I have to be careful, though. She doesn't like to be accused of things, so maybe I can get her to talk by being kind to her.
I mean, was there any money missing from the bank?
Who knows? They're not very competent in this game. How about we have a nice old chat in this room, just like we did so many times before?
What, with a nice cup of tea like when they arrested my father and you had to interrogate me? Sure, why not?
A short while later.
Thank you for the tea. Constable, now Hank, what do you want to talk to me about?
Well, can you still break into buildings? You seem quite fit nowadays. You broke into the museum. The second one's the nicest.
Seem a bit out of left field.
Yeah. Like his questions in general are kind of like random.
Okay. Can you still break into buildings?
Okay, let's do that one. Since this is our tradition, allow me to ask you, can you still break into buildings like you used to?
Do we have to talk about crime again? Hank, just because I've lost weight doesn't mean I'm resorting to burglary.
Oh dear, she needs more compliments. About that weight loss.
You were in the museum's roof.
Are you still climbing?
Like rock climbing?
I guess so.
No, these are all such non sequiturs.
You took up climbing again, didn't you?
It feels so liberating to be climbing again. The wind blowing through your hair, the views. It's like nothing can hold you back. At least, as long as there's no roof over your head.
Good, she started talking. Could you scale any buildings? You climb the museum's walls. You're handy with a rope, I see. Sure, rope. You're really handy with rope. Where did you learn that art?
I took some extra knot tying lessons with the boys, and now we can go abseiling together.
I don't know if I feel comfortable with her boys knowing there were ways around ropes.
You tied a rope to a pulley and then you climb and descend any wall you'd like.
Or you could have used it to enter any building, like the museum.
Wait, what?
Gotta go, bye. Oh my gosh, you're the worst. Well, so much for having a nice cup of tea together.
They broke.
Yeah, they
broke
exploded the
wall.
I think some of this is because in another version of the game,
Yeah.
maybe they climbed in.
Maybe they don't tie together because of
Yeah.
that. Okay. Sir, I'm afraid we made some mistakes in the arrest of Ms. Capone.
Such as?
Well, the serial number on the bag of money she was found with is the same as an empty bag that went missing at the bank a week ago.
So a teller probably gave it to her by accident, and Zafira thought she could keep it.
I'm afraid so, sir.
All right, Constable. I'll deliver the news to myself. Next time, make sure you have your proof straight. Miss Capone, you're free to go.
Finally.
Yeah, sorry for the mix-up.
Since we're on the topic of accusations, how's your investigation going?
Pretty well, but you might have guessed that already.
Aw, you haven't got a clue, do you, Hank?
What makes you say that?
Hank, you're too much of a softie. Anyone under the right circumstances could be persuaded to steal. You've yet let your feelings cloud your judgment of the museum owner, your family, and even little old me.
If that's so, Zafira, explain to me how. Do your worst.
Well, had you ever considered that the museum is doing well enough? Maybe you know someone with money problems.
Zafira, that doesn't exclude you either, by the way.
What if someone had just found the golden sneeze to be dazzling?
Tomo had been quite eager to get her hands on the golden sneeze.
Or what if the thief is just playing you and is actually right under your nose?
Is she trying to throw Mary under the proverbial bus? Thank you for your insight, Miss Capone. I think I've just cracked the case. Please wait here.
Good. Slam! Hey, did you just lock the door?
Yes, you are now a suspect in our burglary case. Oh, frig.
Hey!
Okay. Chapter 5, Showdown. It's time for me to point out the thief among everyone even slightly related to the theft. First, I'm going to point out a suspect. Then I'll review their case, see what proof I have to incriminate them. And positive it's them, I can go ahead and arrest them. I have to be careful though. Once I've chosen the criminal, I can't undo my actions. As in my game will be saved, I won't be able to load a previous save or whatever that means. But if I make a mistake, I may have enough time to try to arrest someone else. Let's get this over with. Who do we suspect? Mr. Abrams.
Oh no.
100% Mr.
You
Abrams.
think?
Yes. Who do you suspect?
Okay, to like boost the rep of his museum and like get some publicity.
Who do you think would do it? Do you think Mary?
There's nothing that like
There's nothing that
incriminates
incriminated her. But we also didn't bother talking to these people every time. Like, and we could have just made the wrong decision at some points.
Tomo, she thinks it's rightfully hers.
But like there was this scene where we weren't there that seemed to imply that she didn't have it. I think the museum
it's always the
stole it
person
from
you
her.
least suspect. So I think it's Mary or Peter or Paul. Peter and Paul had the robot that could knock down a wall.
True.
Otherwise, how else did anyone else get in?
The explosion could
No
be
one else has
unrelated
the
to the
tools.
theft.
No one else has the tools except
okay.
Peter and Paul.
Peter or Paul?
Paul.
Paul. What shall we do? Arrest Paul, review the crime scene. I suspect someone. Let's just arrest him. We're gonna be wrong, but like, whatever.
Okay. Okay. How do you know?
We're sure we want to arrest him? Yes, let's go.
Yeah.
About to
for
save
sure.
your game. Game saved. I don't want to incriminate my father-in-law, but if Paul really committed a crime, I still have to do my job. He may be at my house. I have to take care of this delicately. Honey, I'm sorry to barge in like this, but have you seen Paul?
Peter. Oh, sorry. Peter. Wait, what happened? Paul had to run some errands. He said he went to the train station.
Peter, Mary, don't be alarmed, but I have to go after him. Whatever happens, it's going to be okay. I'll be right back. Paul, hold it right there.
Hank, what's going on here?
Hank, I'm sorry, but these men need to search your person. I think that's you.
Oh, I think that's the wrong person. Wait,
Yeah.
why? Sir, he's clean. Hank, what were you searching for?
The golden sneeze.
Hank, I can't believe it. Accusing your own father-in-law of theft.
I thought for a second, like when it said he'd had to go to the train station, that he might have actually done it.
Yeah, totally.
I'm sorry. Can I get on my train? Oh,
Can I get on my train now? He still might have done it,
yes.
but just not have it in his pocket.
True. I don't know how
Fuck.
large it is.
No, it's not clear.
There may still be time to catch the real thief. Let's go back to the station and review the suspects. Who could it be? This may be my last chance. Oh, we get one more chance.
Peter!
Peter? You think it's Peter? Okay.
Well, I just don't know who else would have been able to
We
break
could,
the
like,
wall down.
What if we review Peter? What did we say? I've got nothing on
Okay.
Peter. I'm suspecting Peter. What shall we do?
Review Peter.
Well, I just did. I've got nothing on
But
him.
it gives you the option again.
Yeah, but it's just nothing.
Why did they give you the option again then? Okay.
It's just the way to throw it. Okay. Mary? Review Mary. Mary is my wife. I'd follow her to the end of the world. But what if Saphira is right? What if an alleged criminal with a convict of a father? Oh, one of her fathers is a convict? Oh, no, wait.
I missed
Never
that
mind.
bit.
No. This is Saphira's. What if an alleged criminal with a convict
right.
of a father is more likely to speak the truth than someone who's been proven to be trustworthy? Nah, it's probably nothing. I'm suspecting Mary. What shall we do? Review the crime scene? Reports of the following of the crime scene. One of the outer walls is missing. It's very likely the thief entered through there. We found a torn off black piece of cloth. That was the whole report.
Black piece of cloth. Where would the black piece of cloth come from?
Tomo's outfit was black.
Nothing. Yeah, but he questioned her about the black cloth.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what Mr. Abrams says. Got nothing on Mr. Abrams.
Tomo. Let's try Tomo.
The thing is, like, I like Tomo. I don't want to arrest her.
I know.
Okay, Tomo's experience with explosives. Tomo claimed to have been around the museums when the night of the theft. As unlikely it is for a little girl, the golden seems to belong to Tomo. I may just believe her, with emphasis on may. That's all I have in Tomo. That's more than pretty much anyone else.
So let's arrest her.
Do you want to go with you want to arrest Tomo, or you want to?
Let's try Saphira. Let's do Saphira.
Okay.
That's-
I don't think it's Saphira either.
No.
So her restaurant isn't doing hot. She might have stolen the golden sneeze to get her money back. Experience with the rope and pulley. If she used that, the oil from the pulley probably would have dripped along the crime scene. That was everything on Saphira. That seems unrelated.
So probably in a different version of this,
Yeah.
there was oil in the crime scene. Yeah.
I think I just want to arrest
Mr.
Mr.
Abrams.
Abrams. Yeah.
Let's try this.
Okay. Can we just arrest him?
Sure, let's arrest Mr. Abrams.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Something about Mr. Abrams doesn't feel right. If I had to guess, I'd say he's at the museum right now. Let's pay him a visit. One short trip later. Mr. Abrams, the police need to talk to you.
Excuse me, what is the meaning of this?
These gentlemen will keep an eye on you while we search the museum.
No, you can't do this. These are all ancient, priceless artifacts, not to mention the paintings.
Not to worry, Mr. Abrams. The police are keeping the best interests of the museum in mind. I do not believe that they are doing that at all.
What do you think you'll find, detective?
Isn't it obvious, Mr. Abrams? The golden sneeze, of course.
Sir, we've searched the entire building. There was nothing to be found. That was fast. Hate to say, I told you so, detective.
Men,
Yes, sir?
let him go.
Thank you. Detective, I can't even imagine what went through your head. Why would I have pretended to steal the golden sneeze from myself?
I thought you wanted publicity.
And how did that turn out for me? I've got police running down the corridors, and who knows if they'll be careful with the relics or not. Plus, you lot left the door open, making the climate a mess for all the delicate artifacts. And if I find even one painting out of place, your captain is going to hear some very harsh words.
I'm sorry. I'm going to go now.
Good riddance.
I failed. We've received reports that the golden sneeze is no longer in town. With no suspect and the golden sneeze missing, we had to give up the case. Mr. Abrams was angry that I didn't find it, and he gave me the evil eye every time I tried to visit the museum. Tomo went on to terrorize the streets for months, which gave the police more work than ever. Saphira claimed she wanted to cheer me up in the same slimy way she always did, and she kept inviting Mary and I to her restaurant. I can't say that I refused, since she wasn't proven guilty, plus the guy just needs some food every now and then. At least my family was supportive of me, and I still had nice tea evenings with Peter, Paul, and my wife. Sometimes you succeed, sometimes you don't. You just need to count your blessings and look to the future. The end.
We
We don't even know who did it.
We didn't find out who did it.
Oh my gosh, we are terrible mystery solvers.
So it was okay. It wasn't Mr. Abrams, and it wasn't Paul, because we tried to arrest both of them. So it could have been Peter, Mary, Tomo, or Saphira.
Yeah. I don't know. Could have been any of them.
Who could have broken down the wall, and who had black cloth? I feel really dumb, but the clue must have been in there somewhere. But
Yeah.
where was it?
Okay. Well, this is so fun to play. Sure. Let's go back to the main menu. Yeah. That was. Oh wait. Can I continue? See.
What?
Can we try again? Resuming game.
Continue. Resuming game.
Oh no. No. That's the.
Last time you saved? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But still, I don't know. This was fun to play, even if we're terrible at it.
They must have given us the clue.
I might try again in the future, and see if I can get a better. Actually, find out who did it.
I like the idea that there's like 4 different versions.
Yeah, there were four different endings, I think.
Culprits. That's pretty fun, and depending on the little like clues they give you and red herrings, a different person could find it. That's fun.
I definitely, yeah.
It's a true virtual choose your own adventure.
It is. This was cute. Although, like, there were a couple of like problems where the wrong person was speaking, but that's pretty minor in the case of these things. Yeah,
definitely needs some editing.
It was also like the jokes were so bad,
and the graphics are a little cartoonish in them. I must say.
I think they're fine. I think they work like fine for what it is. But yeah, I don't know. I still enjoy playing this. So thanks for checking out the stream. Thank you, Amanda, for joining me. And if you want to check out the podcast, it's called Book Club for Masochists, and all of us, you can find it on any podcast places, and our social media, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, all those things, are Book Club 4M. 4 is the numeral, so the key on your keyboard, that 4. Yeah, see you later. Have a great rest of your day.